Okay, welcome back. Our guest is Mr. Akintunde Sawyerr, MD CEO, Nigerian Education Loans Fund. And while we were away on break, Yakub had called in. So thank you very much, Mr. Yakub. He's so intense on this subject. He said that don't worry about it. I'll wait till you get back. So thank you for that, Mr. Yakub. Now go ahead.
Thank you very much, Shivjori. And then good morning to our guest. Shivjori, for me, initially, I have my doubts concerning this government program initially, but listening to the MD this morning now, that my doubt has been cleared off. You know why?
Tell us.
He made mention that this program now is now driven by technologies. And then I don't think anybody can intervene in that manually, because what makes it unique now is that even the student that want to apply for the loan can even enter his or own laptop or going to server cab and then do whatever I want to do, apply. And then what makes it unique again is that I heard him say that this very particular money paid direct to institution, not paid direct to the applicant or paid direct to the mother or the father of the applicant. That makes it unique as well. Then, for them to even take away of politicians have access to this money, in fact, I was so happy, because if they give the politician access that you have to bring one kind of local government chairman or your community leadership or even imam or pastor to be your guarantor before you can have access to this loan. I can tell you categorically says that even the imam, the pastor, they will first settle their family before any other person. So, but now that the program is driven by technology, in fact, if government can skate through this very particular promise, they promised initially when they were campaigning, this is one of the things that I give them kudos for. And then, Shivjori, I also give kudos to your guests, because it is another thing for you to have a very good program, but it's another thing to have a very good manager that can give you a program and then the thing that will make you succeed in that very particular. If you don't have anybody that will manage that program very well, you are going to fail. But now, it is clear to me that the person in the studio with you or other side, it is good manager. And then I want to say this. At the end of the day, by the time all the children and students have benefit from this, some students will be able to come on the television and say, yes, I apply for this without nobody. My father is nobody, my mother is nobody, and then I get this thing done. Thank you, government. Kudos to the federal government once again, and God bless the government of Ashwat Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and then God bless your guests this morning. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yakub. A very enthusiastic Mr. Yakub there, Mr. Sawyerr. This is part of the sensitization you were talking about.
Indeed, and I don't know if Mr. Yakub can hear me, but I say amen to his prayer. I think his points are exactly right. We are trying to make sure that we don't create any demigods in this process, anybody that can hold a gun to anybody's head to say, if I don't sign, you get this loan. We want to remove all opportunities for that. And by the way, this is not a uniquely Nigerian issue. Anywhere in the world where you put power in someone's hand and you expect them not to misuse it at some point in time, you're mistaken. So the more power we can take from individuals around decisions that affect the lives of these young, vulnerable members of our society, any way in which we can blank those who may want to take advantage of such people from doing it, we will do. And technology has been proven everywhere in the world and across all manner of industries that if you put a faceless piece of technology there, as long as it works and it works properly, it's difficult for humans to actually manipulate it, including the managing director of NEL Fund. We don't want this thing manipulated. The president wants this thing to spread evenly across the country, and it should be opportunity driven, not contact driven or not by whom you know. Thank you, Mr. Yakub.
Indeed. Reverend Dominic has come on the line. Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning, Yore. Good morning to your guest.
Mr. Sawyerr, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Sawyerr.
Good morning.
I want to start where Yakub, my friend, have just stopped. The man in the studio, I know him a little bit. He does not know me. a very disciplined man, a very thorough professional. I'm so glad that he's going to drive this program. But I want to ask him this question. Is there any mechanism to check people who will, try to sabotage this program? I ask this question for this. The Minister of Interior, a young man, very professional, has made obtaining passports electronically. Yori, I went there last month. They have introduced paper file, 500 naira. And if you don't buy that file, all you fill in your computer and the electronics is in vain. I asked the man there, why are you doing this? We remove human, element in this. You are introducing it again. So is there any mechanism to check people who will sabotage this program? Number two, does this have, the loan application, does it have limits? Maybe 1 naira to 2 naira or 10 naira to 30 naira. Number three, are we going to see in that form state of origin or just a Nigerian with BVN, with NIN, with other things? Is what we're going to see. Are we going to see state of origin? Because when state of origin comes, the professional I know there, the minister I know there, very thorough man, Nigerians will begin to know who come from north, who come from west. But if we remove state of origin, it's Nigerians, training their children. I know that this will work. And I want to thank God to Mr. President who signed this document and remove what you call, grantor. Why should I give my daughter money to go to school and I ask him to go and bring a grantor? Mrs. Nigeria is training the daughter of Nigeria. He doesn't need a grantor. That's one of the best things I've ever seen happen in Nigeria. And God bless the man in the studio. I know him very well. And God bless our president. And God bless Nigeria. But my question is there any mechanism to check for who will frustrate this program? God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Reverend. Well, Mr. Sawyerr, I hope you made a few notes.
I did. I put a few pointers down. Reverend Dominic, thank you very much for taking time to call in. And your points are well noted and well taken. I think that you will find that with any program that involves money in particular, the potential for sabotage is huge. There are many, many people who would like to see this program run in a different way, in a way that creates opportunities and avenues for it to fail from a technology standpoint so that it can revert to manual. Because once it reverts to manual and you start using pieces of paper, then actually what you've created is that human interface that we're trying to prevent, and that human interference that actually stops it from working the way it should. So we're going to do everything we can to ensure that the technology does not fail. We're going to put in all sorts of backup systems. We're going to try to ensure that we don't have ghost students, for example. We'll try to ensure that if the system is attacked, the cyber security that we require and we have, that if the system is attacked so that it can go manual, we're going to, we're putting in processes in place to ensure that we have alternative application points and sites for this to happen. So sabotage is real. Sabotage or attempts at sabotage will happen. We just need to be ready to manage and defend the program from that sabotage, from those sabotage opportunities or attacks, if you like. To your second question, is there a limit? The answer is yes, there is a limit. And the limit is this. And I just need to speak to something else very quickly. So there are two elements to this. The first is the element of the direct disbursement to the institution. So when an individual applies for a loan to cover a course in a particular institution, when we grant the loan, we will pay 100% of the cost, if you like, or the fees, the institutional fees for that loan. So if the fees are 120,000 naira, 300,000 naira for whatever course it is, we will cover the entire cost of the institutional fees for that loan. So that's where the limit is. So
okay.
Now, having said that, We also recognize that covering someone's fees to go to an institution and then providing them with nothing thereafter may be self-defeating. So we are going to give, as part of the loan, a stipend directly to the account of the individual on a monthly basis to ensure that they've got something to live off and to survive on. And this is all going to be means tested. We will make those determinations according to the individual, perhaps the course they're doing, the institution that they're at. But just for clarity, 100% of the institutional fees will be paid. A determinable amount for the upkeep will be determined, and that's what the individual will receive on a monthly basis. That, by the way, is optional. The final point that Reverend Dominic made was around state of origin. So we're not specifically looking at state of origin, but having said that, we will be able to view from the back end the state of origin of people who are applying for this because of the NIN, the national identification number that is a requirement for this, contains an element or line in it that tells us the state of origin. Now, this is quite important because even though we're not looking at creating any sort of quota around this, we do have to recognize that this is a federal government initiative that all Nigerians should be able to apply for. And we will be seeking to encourage everyone, men, women, people from the north, people from the south, people from the southeast, people from the southwest, to join in and try to get an education, because there is an inherent understanding that education is a game changer for any nation in the world.
Thank you, Mr. Sawyerr. Let me also bring on our next person, and also apologize, Mr. Sane.